Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Armchair Booking Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host. My name is Stunning Steve Barber. And joining me as my awesome co-host is the intellectual rock star himself, Delicious Dwaylon Davis.
Hey, everybody.
And for those of you watching on YouTube, as you notice, we have not just one, but we have two very special guests this week. And we have the leader of the NWF Women's Revolution, that'd be Big Mama.
Oh, don't let Nikki Victory hear you say that.
Oh, well, if you can get Nikki Victory on the show, I'll keep saying it. She needs to come on and defend herself.
Until she shows up and disputes it. Yeah.
Yes.
But I am definitely taking that role. I will claim that. I am the leader.
And we also have Miss Breezy, who we've had on the show before. She is a rising superstar who temporarily on the shelf, and if you keep up with her on social media, you know all about her ACL, MCL issues and what she is battling right now. And if you come across and say anything bad to her, she'll hit you with a crutch. She did that to me this past Saturday. Me and three other guys. All we did was ask for an autograph, and she started swinging.
No.
So, how you doing,
and
Breezy?
I have two crutches, so you'll get hit with both of them.
Yeah, she will.
Right.
And it doesn't matter which side you get on. She can switch hit. She can turn around. Oh, I'll get you this way too. And you're done.
You might get a brace to the face too.
Hey, you never know.
And these are women. You do not mess with these women. They are part of the Northern Wrestling Federation. And I actually I have not read the article, but I saw one of your peers, Miss Anika, actually posted something. Apparently, there was an article about the Northern Wrestling Federation and the women, because I know, Big Mama, you were actually in the picture, weren't you?
My rear end made the picture. Let me just say it. My natural asset, and it was great because my boss actually brought it to work and goes, look, it made it. He was not referring to the front. So, but the spread was great. It was amazing. It was a really cool photo story across multiple things. And it's a great opportunity. We love the publicity. So,
okay. What publication was that anyway?
So it's the Cincinnati Magazine. It's a monthly publication.
Okay.
And it's all things Cincinnati.
And I believe I had to go look on Anika's page, but it said that essentially the Northern Wrestling Federation is like the WWE of all the indies.
That is basically what they said, which are lofty goals, but hey, we definitely aim to hit those.
Yeah, and just talking to a lot of the NWF wrestlers, they all talk about how the training and everything, the standards are pretty high for the NWF. So when they go and they do little spot shows for other companies, it's like, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? They say they realize how good it is at the NWF because, the training may be tough, but it's tough for a reason because you have certain standards you have to hit. So that way when you go somewhere else, it'll be a little bit easier because you've already experienced the toughest thing you can experience.
Yeah, it's I definitely think that I will say a lot of the boys are spoiled. I'll tell them this to their face, and I'm okay with that. Our women have to travel a lot more than the men, just because it's a lot harder to fit all of our women onto one show. And there's only so many spots, and so our women have had more experience with what's out there. Sometimes it ain't so pretty. But our women go out there and they're prepared and they're ready, and our boys go out there and they're prepared and they're ready when they go out. I don't know that they're prepared for what they see. It's some of the stuff I've come across, but they're ready for whatever gets thrown their way, and it is absolutely due to the training we get.
And this Saturday, keep forgetting. I don't know why Saturday. It's a 3-day weekend.
I was going to say, I don't know what's going on Sunday, but I won't be there.
We got a lot going on Sunday. I got to tell you all about it, Breezy.
Yeah, she told us right before you came on what she's got going on Sunday, and I was like, wow, you need to take a break at some point. But
yeah.
In August after Fan Fest, I don't know, something like that.
Well, I'm Joy and I. We're both on breaks right now, sort of.
Yeah.
I'm technically on a break too.
Yeah.
True. Very true.
Yeah, but I'm putting you to work. It's okay.
I will be put to work Saturday, so it's fine.
There we go. See, and so this Saturday down at HITS, the baseball complex in Covington, Kentucky, we're going to have the Northern Wrestling Federation. There we go. Revolution Rising, the Queens of the Midwest. And correct me if I'm wrong, I noticed kind of a theme. Is it the NWF versus a different organization?
So someone said it to me the other day, I remember, but it's the war's on, NWF versus the Midwest kind of. And I don't think we set out for that to be the case, but then it became the case.
Just kind of happened.
Yeah, it was just a very natural flow. We were able to find some of the best up and comers in the Midwest. And we're putting our girls to the test. It's our girls versus their girls. Thankfully, the PGWA has jumped on as co-sponsor with us this year, again from last year, and we're here to show the Midwest why we are the dominant women and we're the place to come. So that's where we're at this Saturday, and I know my match isn't going to be an exception, and neither are any of my other girls.
I would say I was there last year. In fact, I was a sponsor last year. I still apologize for not being able to sponsor this year. It was a money issue when it came down to me leaving my job. And I was explaining to Dwaylen yesterday that my son a couple days ago decided to spend about $250 on stuff on a video game. We discovered it the next day, so he is not going to be playing video games for the next month. So that also put kind of a dent in things, but I'm still planning
Steve's nicer than me, because one of my kids would have been just missing if they had spent $250 of my money. Just it's like, where'd they go? I don't know, but they disappeared like my money did. So sorry.
Yeah. Fortunately, we had some saved back. I was able to transfer over quickly. Didn't want to. That's an emergency fund. This is not the kind of emergency I wanted to shift money for.
Right.
So but I mean, I do know that other people like the Dad Ward Order podcast. I know they are sponsoring. Those are great guys. And I know just from attending the event last year, you outgrew the venue you were in last year, like right away.
Yeah, we had just shut off tickets before the show even started, like before the doors even opened.
So I better get my tickets now, because I have a bad habit of not getting tickets till the day of. And part of that is because I'm like, what if something happens that I don't end up going? Well, you know what? I better get my tickets now.
I definitely recommend getting tickets now. They're going really well. We've had people I think I saw someone from Florida get tickets.
Really?
I saw in Milwaukee.
Awesome.
So we're definitely we've apparently gotten somewhere. Someone's seeing something. So.
And just seeing, I know the lineup that's on for the NWF. Like yourself, Breezy's going to be accompanying you. She and her crutches. She's going to be swinging at some people.
Of course.
So,
we're making our re-debut.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And and I will try not to stay by the aisle, because Breezy might see me and start swinging just on principle.
Shut up, Steve.
Like,
I mean, you never know what can happen. They the crutches have a mind of their own. So if they just start going, I can't stop it.
Exactly.
And I mean, I had to bring my best tools down with me. So, I mean, I'm bringing my girl. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, and I know every single participant in every capacity for this are all women, even the referees.
Yes.
And because I think
that's awesome.
I think that was the only thing that you didn't have last year.
No, we had all girl refs last year.
Did you have last year? Okay.
For
some reason, I was thinking you didn't.
Now we do have male security guards, only because of licensing issues. That was that Kentucky thing. It gets a little fun.
Kentucky's weird when it comes to,
They are. They have a strict commission. You have to be licensed. So I didn't want people necessarily going out of their way just for one event out of the whole year. Yeah. So I was kind of like, okay.
I've lived in Kentucky my entire life, and they're weird about everything.
I grew up in Kentucky. I can definitely vouch. I will say, the 3 women referees we have, I am so incredibly thankful for them. It's a little bit of mixture of prior trainees that have other life stuff going on, so they can't commit full time. and also some significant others, and they have dove in head first, man, as far as learning the ropes and really getting in there, and
Cool.
they are ready. Like they're ready to lay down the law. Praying to God they don't see me cheating. I mean, I would never cheat, but
Never.
I
We
have
don't
a
do that.
feeling it's not going to be that easy this Saturday.
Look, as Tully Blanchard always said, it's not really cheating. It's just moving the referee where you need them to be so that you can do something over here. That's all it is.
Is that what the crutch flying across the ring is going to be?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if the ref
And
doesn't
as long
see it,
as
it
they
didn't
don't
happen.
see anything, it's
Exactly.
fine. They don't see
Yep.
anything. It's fine.
I know this past Saturday in Mount Orb there were 2 female referees. Are those 2 going to be part of the show?
They are, yes. So that
Okay.
was part of their training, actually.
Okay.
Them getting to focus on that.
All right, cool. So I mean that you know, I can see that not having your debut on a pretty huge event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of nerve-wracking.
Trying to take off the pressure just a little bit.
And the Mount Orb show was great as always. Such a have to throw that out there. The Mount Orb crowds, they absolutely love it when the NWF comes to town.
I mean, especially the horns.
Oh,
The
yes.
horns.
Can you
The
please?
horns.
I'm pretty sure you know exactly. I'm pretty sure you know pretty well the person who decided to get them horns. Yeah, Dwaylen. You know the horns that Rex blows.
The stadium
Yes.
horns.
Yes.
Yes.
They sold them.
Oh, no.
It was all night long. All
No.
night long.
All night long.
I couldn't
From
stand
when
it
they
when
walked in
when
the
my
door
kids had
until they
recorders
left.
in school.
Oh
No.
Hey, I can still play hot cross buns though.
And unfortunately, the kids loved them and they were very popular.
Oh.
So
Of course they did. They made noise.
But
It's
I mean,
like,
We sold the entire box out.
I mean,
Really?
I'll be honest.
Wow.
If you accidentally lost them before every other event, it wouldn't break my heart.
yeah. I mean, if they accidentally fell in the trash, I mean, okay.
I don't know what happened. The box
Yeah.
it disappeared. Ruffin
It's
must
just
have
gone.
buried it in the
Yeah.
backyard.
You know, it must have fell off the back of the truck, and another truck hit them and broke them.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what
There
we're
you go.
doing. Back in the
Ooh.
truck. I did not close the truck.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
That's it.
so, oh my lord, I'm now I'm thinking they might have them damn horns at the.
I am not permitting those to be sold.
You know what? In Kentucky, they can't be sold. There we go. Done.
See,
That's
that's kind
it.
of where
That's
I'm
it.
at right
See?
now.
Yeah.
Because Kentucky's weird and they don't allow anything.
They,
See?
they
That's
don't
how it
want the
works.
horns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but what
I
will
might
be-
break one if I hear one. I might break it.
Yeah.
I just might. Might
I would
smash you with my
proudly
crutch.
support you in that moment, ma'am.
My crutches might smash them. That just.
Well, there you
that just
go.
might
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, she will hop over there on the other leg and start swinging. And, you know, but what will be there is, of course, Big Mama and Breezy, but we're also going to have this year's PGWA Rookie of the Year, Savannah Sweet. Last year's Rookie of the Year, Riley Matthews. She needs to come on the show, Nikki Victory.
For the record, the last 4 Rookie of the Years have been NWF talent.
Really?
And I just want to state for the record, if Nikki really wants to push this whole I'm the leader of the revolution deal, they brought the award out of retirement for me. So yeah, I get to edge out those. I'm just saying.
Who was the other? Because you said 4.
So
And-
me, Nikki, Riley, and then now Savannah.
Okay. You know, so and Breezy unfortunately had gotten hurt. You know,
Things happen. It's okay. My time's coming.
but you know what? I mean, for every good person, they also need very good opponents to actually help make them look good. You know,
100%.
yes, and I saw Riley's very first match against Breezy, and I was thinking, man, that's a good match. And then I found out it was Riley's first match, and like your second or third match, and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
wow, so these two are really good already. Once again, a testament to the training they get at Bone Brushers. You know, because I know you're not going to let them go out there unless they're ready.
Mm-mm. Yeah, we don't play
so
those games.
exactly. And who am I missing now? Jack Stinger's going to show back up.
She will be
Mhm.
back. We are super pumped to have her back for sure.
And who am I missing here? I know I'm missing somebody.
I think here, well, this would
Let's
help.
look at the poster.
The poster. So we'll have Anika. We've got Jack Stinger,
Ella. So forgot about. How am
Ella.
I going to forget Ella, the champion?
It's
Um,
okay. It's okay. Sometimes she's irrelevant, so it's
Oh,
okay.
wow. Hey, Dwayla, I got to
Shots
remember
fired.
she said what she
tag
said.
everybody.
That's all I know.
Yeah. I love the shirt, by the way.
I said what I said.
Thank you.
We do have Kayla Cassidy returning. We're super pumped to have her back. I was super pumped to see her kick Ella in the face for the record.
Yeah.
Just saying, it was pretty. We are, for first time appearees to making their NWF debut, we've got Alexis Littlefoot, the big
Okay.
Flexa. She is definitely up and coming on the rise. She's making towns and making a statement. She will be going one-on-one with Jack Stinger. And I think those two women are ready to like get at it, man. Like they're ready to throw down.
See, and I've been trying to convince Jack Stinger to use the Cobra Clutch, not just in the ring, but when she's doing her army, like their combat maneuver training.
Yes.
I was like, it's a double sleeper hold. It could be a very legit move, because
Yeah.
you've got
Yeah.
both arms up against their carotid artery there, and
100%.
and I think she said she would see if she could sneak it in during some of her training. I don't know if she's done it yet or not.
She's been working really hard, even though she's away from us right now. She sends me videos of stuff she's working on. So I mean she's putting in the time, she's putting in the effort. So she's doing awesome.
On top of all the army stuff, which I got to throw a nod to you, Breezy, also, because I know that you were in the army for a little short while, very short while. I know, but I've seen the picture of you in uniform, so I know. I know it may have been a short while, but it's okay. Well, we get it. Either that or she's going, look, I put a little bitty pinch of salt in this.
It was very short lived. It was good. I might have cried a lot, but I was still strong.
That's
but
what
it was very short
boot
lived.
camp is supposed to make you cry. I mean,
It did. I think I cried I think I cried every day for 2 weeks.
Oh, well, really
and after
short.
that, I was fine. I was fine after that.
Okay.
I got it all out my system.
Yeah. But yeah, having Ella defending her title, yeah, I was actually there. They did that right, almost like dead in front of me when, because as soon as she said something about Ella's son, that's when all of a sudden Ella, kind of lost it.
Oh yeah.
So and then she got kicked in the face.
Oh. And it's probably going to happen again on Saturday.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm going off Breezy's shirt. I said what I said when I wasn't successful in getting that title off her. But when I said during our interviews that when you're coming back from having a baby, you either come back stronger or you come back not so ready to fight. I said what I said, and yeah, I'm pretty sure we know who did what.
Yeah. But either way, I mean, I know there's going to be some good matches. I honestly, I because I have kind of a bias to the NWF. I don't care. That's like the whole Survivor Series things that they've been doing, anymore, where they've been doing like the Raw versus SmackDown, and all of a sudden everybody on Raw bands up against everybody from SmackDown. So people who were enemies yesterday, they just for temporarily for one night.
Yeah.
And then they go back to
pride. I get it.
Yeah. Then they go back to kicking each other in the face. So, so be it, or hitting people with a crutch. I know. Yeah, and we cannot forget actually Miss Callie, because I know one time y'all had a Lumberjill match, and somebody got thrown out in front of Miss Callie. Next thing you know, she was pop.
Anyone near Miss Callie with a belt or a whip? No, don't do it. All I'm saying, don't do it. It is dangerous.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm even freaking out afraid of her sometimes, because even at Mount Orb this past Saturday, before the matches even started, I walked back and I saw Mr. Swayze kind of sitting on the back, back behind the announcers. And I just walked over there because I actually knew Saturday was his birthday. And I just walked over there just to tell him happy birthday. And she gave me a look like, and I'm like, hey, Adam, he's like, happy birthday. He's like, oh, thank you. Then I kind of went back,
Back up.
I was like, I'm all right, Miss Callie.
Gotta go.
Because she had that microphone. She starts swinging it around like she's going to hit me with it. And I'm like, yeah, don't mess with her. Don't mess with her at all.
Back in the day, when she was wrestling as Corporal Callie, she actually came out to the ring with a bullwhip. I have witnessed it used in the ring.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
yes. Don't, no. All I got, no.
Dwaylon, when's the last time we could think of, that we saw a bullwhip in the ring? It had to be like Ron Bassett and Black Bart back in the day. Or maybe, you know what? The Kansas City Jayhawks, Dutch Mantell and Bobby Jaggers.
Yeah.
Actually, the last time I saw one used is Dusty Rhodes and Steve Corino in ECW.
Oh.
Dusty brought a bull rope to the ring.
A bull rope or a bull whip?
Bull whip, and used it on Steve Corino. Because it was it was ECW and anything goes. So.
Woo. And because I know Dusty, he used to always have that bull rope too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because he felt the ring needed more cowbell.
Oh yeah. He also figured people's heads needed more cowbell.
That's one thing. Is the NWF do bull rope matches?
I think we've done one that I can recall, but it was a long time ago. And I want to say it was with Country Wild Matt Stevens and Ryan Stone for some reason. I could be completely wrong on that, but I know we've done one that I can recall. So 17 years, one.
Okay. When Breezy comes back, we need to get her to bull rope match.
Dude, I will bring the bull rope. I got you.
The bull rope. I mean, and you got to make sure you're the person controlling the cowbell in the middle of the bull rope, and you start cracking people upside the head.
And not the WWE style where they do all the, we're just going to touch the pads and never use the cap. No, I just need somebody to get knocked out with a cowbell.
Oh, I can definitely handle that. No worries. I don't know who my first victim will be, but I have a list.
There you go. You always got to have a list.
So, in addition to Ella defending her title against Kayla Cassidy, the head kicker, some of the other matches. I know Riley mentioned she's going against
Marty Bell.
Marty Bell.
You talk about a high-flying, fast-paced match. I have no doubt that those two women, Riley's been on a tear. I don't think anybody can deny that. I mean, she is at the height and she's pushing harder and harder and harder. And can Marty Bell stop her? I mean, that's really the question at the end of the day. Because Marty Bell is well-seasoned, she's well-traveled, she's very experienced. But sometimes that confidence and swagger of a young rookie going at it, that can edge you out. So, I mean, I have very, very high hopes for that match, that it's just going to be absolutely amazing.
How about Savannah Sweet? Who was her opponent?
So it's going to be Savannah Sweet and Judy Ray, the Appalachian Dream. Let me get the full name in. And it is for the PGWA Women's Championship. This title literally has been held by Leilani Kai, China, Alexis Lurie, now Mickey James. I mean, you name it.
Wow.
Some heavy freaking hitters have held this title. Also Big Mama, but what are you going to do? One of my personal favorites that has held the title is Susan Green. She's a good old country girl that throws it down, and she threw it down when women's wrestling was really, really tough. So, I mean, they are guaranteed a brand new PGWA champion this Saturday night. Our prior champion was Casey Fox. Unfortunately, due to some medical stuff, she's not as able to travel and defend as much. So she relinquished the title. Savannah Sweet, as the number one contender, currently is given, and the rookie of the year this year, um, gets a title shot, and that is what we're doing. And Casey Fox chose Judy Ray as her opponent. And Judy Ray's she's making her own waves. Like, she's all over VW. She's hitting the roads. I see her in the cars all the time, really going at it. And I want to say she's won like three titles in the last like month. So I mean, she's racking them up, and so is Savannah. So
I'd
I mean,
say,
they're
Savannah,
going.
apparently all Savannah does anymore is wrestle title matches because she had 3 this past weekend.
Yeah, you're
2,
not wrong.
2 in the same day.
This is you're not incorrect.
So I mean,
I mean, we won't talk about how she lost 2 in one day, but that's a story.
Hey, she went
Not
there.
throwing any shots out there, but
yeah, because I mean, she went from the first match they had in the afternoon to having to drive directly to Mount Orb. Both of them. But her and Riley both.
Yep.
And Riley was sick because she was supposed to interview with us Friday, but she
was
messaged me and said,
done
"Oh,
Saturday.
yeah," because you saw it. I was even telling Dwayne
Yeah.
about it. I was like, "Dude, she's like, I feel so bad right now." I mean, yeah, she said after her first match, she actually passed out for a bit.
Oh wow.
Before she could actually travel. I mean, because yeah, she was hurting like Merton. I mean, and she said a lot of it's her allergies, I guess, are like really kicking her rear end big time.
You're crazy right now.
Yeah, and she said she can't take Benadryl because that will just knock her out. And I was like, well, take Loratadine. I said that's one of the allergy pills I take, one of them. So, but yeah, anyway, back to non medical talk. Because Joy and I can both show you our collection of pills that we take every day.
Yeah.
So, so Savannah, once again, wrestling for titles. She ought to put that as her monitor. I only wrestle for titles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's all she's been doing lately. And well, here's a question: is Mr. James Cross going to accompany her to the ring? Because they are so good as a team. I would just say that.
And we did take that into consideration. She's got to stand her own ground.
All right.
So she is okay. Let's just be honest. I'm the only one that gets to bring tools to this show. So, yeah, I got my Breezy.
Nobody else.
That's right.
Yeah,
Nobody
right.
else can do it.
Yeah, everyone else gets to stand on their own 2 feet.
Well, maybe she can bring his bowling shoes to the ring and put them in the corner.
Oh my
god. Hey, he's the one to decide to wear them. And
this is true.
Yeah, Joel, have you seen those videos where you notice his shoes? They look like bowling shoes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And people in Ludlow actually called him out on it. And ever since then, they've been chanting bowling shoes every time he comes to the ring. But they make a really, really good duo.
They really do. I mean, they're both very smart on their own, but when you combine the 2 of them, I mean, they're pretty much unstoppable.
Yeah, and James Cross suplex. I know we're kind of off the subject of women's wrestling for a second. Him suplexing Rex. Oh my lord! Yeah.
Oh wow! Yeah.
He laid a vertical suplex on Rex.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because Rex is like a legit 420, 430.
Oh yeah.
And James Cross. I mean, and see Randy. Yeah, you know who Randy is. You took the picture of us. He pointed out to me. He's like, he said James Cross. Or Jimbo, whatever you want to call him this week. He said he's always wearing sleeves. He never comes in like with his arms uncovered. He said, but he's got some muscles there. So
he's got some muscle, dude. I'll say this. So, especially in women's wrestling, like I've not gotten picked up and thrown around a whole lot. Just not something that's happened. But when I was wrestling against Rex, I remember so vividly. He used to do that finisher where you go out, you end up on his shoulder, and then you go down with him. I have never had someone just whip me up so casually out of the middle of nowhere and then destroy me. I've never experienced that ever in wrestling or life. And to know that someone is able to do something so similar to him, it's a little scary.
Yeah. because I saw him and I'm like, nah, Rex will revert. No, he's not revert. Holy crap. And he just took him on over, boom. And it's like, okay. So James Cross, he's all of a sudden, he can throw some power moves in there. And he's one of those, he's kind of deceptive anyway. He's a lot better than, you look at him and you're like, oh, what's this guy wearing? And all of a sudden you're like, oh, he's good.
Definitely has, I don't know if it's jujitsu or taekwondo, like he has some sort of
Really?
a martial art background, which is part of the reason why that finishing kick, that works so well
Okay.
for him. But he is trained in one of the branches of martial arts. I'm just not sure which one.
Wow. So, and I've also seen him do a moonsault off the top onto the arena floor.
Very
wow.
pretty, very pretty, terrifying but
Yeah.
pretty.
Yeah. Now his moonsault's not as pretty as Andrew Reed's. Andrew Reed has his is so nice. So, and whenever Breezy's knee gets better, she'll show him all the moonsault.
I'm here to support that because
Definitely.
I am not.
She's like, I'm not doing
Yeah.
Listen, I have a brand new ACL. It's I can do anything now.
There you
Once
go.
I'm fully healed, I can do anything.
So, Miss Big Mama, who was your match against again?
So I am taking okay, hold on. Me and Breezy,
You and Breezy.
she's not going to be over
Yes.
involved. Just there for support.
Yes.
Taking on the Amazon from New York City. I believe it is New York City. I could be completely wrong on that. She's as big as and bad as they come, though. I know that.
Really?
I've been doing my research. I got my work cut out for me. I mean, she throws them down and she's ground and pound. So I mean, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a struggle, but we kind of always know how it ends. Let's be honest. I usually can get out of that.
There you go.
Right. Yeah.
And as soon as funny, as soon as you said somebody being from New York City, I hear that I automatically think of the boy from New York City. That'd be Mr. Jimmy Valiant, who
Yeah.
former NWF champion Jimmy Valiant, and of course, then he also has his wife, who is also named
Big Mama.
Big Mama.
Yeah.
The
But
one
then
or two times I've actually gotten to be in the ring with him, it's so funny because he has Big Mama
on his
on
his
yeah.
knuckles, yeah.
And it makes me so happy because the one I do remember so playing. I'm gonna give you one of the. Oh, you're gonna give me my own name? Okay.
And he is 80 years old and still going at it.
He
Oh, wow.
is. I just saw him not too long back at a
And
show in
Chillicothe.
Chillicothe. Yeah.
Yeah, because you got there after I left. Again, that's the second time there, Big Mama.
Maybe I need to drive faster. I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm like taking a picture of her table. I'm like, your table's right here. They got it
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, just not there.
But when I got to meet him, he was like, as soon as we walked in the door, remember, he was like right there. It was like him and Dan Severn. They were both right beside each other. And I actually had something for both of them to sign. One, Jimmy Valiant and his figure. The other one was that belt right there, the 10 pounds of gold. Which, by the way, I did ask Wildcat to let me know when Abyss is going to be in town next because I would need him to sign it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep. So, but when I met Jimmy Valiant, because I told you he was my favorite when I first started watching wrestling, the Boogie Woogie Man, because he was just so over with the fans. I realized later on he really by that point wasn't that good in the ring, but man, everybody loved him. Because he had three moves. He had this elbow, that elbow, and a sleeper hold, and that was it. And that's all he had to do though. But then he go out and I mean, then I found out how long he'd been wrestling, and he was actually a bad guy before. And that made me sad because But then when I actually finally got to meet him,
think of him as a bad guy.
I know. When he was Handsome Jimmy, which is what the figure that she says, Handsome Jimmy. When I got to meet him, my son, of course, was with me, and he said he's never seen me smile so big.
I love it.
Yep. So here it is, 40 years later, I finally get to meet him, and I was like,
"Find this place."
And that was the day, met Nikita Koloff, and I got another story for that later. I can tell you, some other time. That was actually really cool. I had a Russian hat. I just wanted him to hold it. No, he put it on his head, and I was like, okay, and had the Russian chain. Met Bill Apter, got his book. Bill Apter honestly was the best deal for $25. I got
He's
his.
so cool.
Oh,
Mr. Actor. Oh my gosh.
he did a promo for the show. He said, oh, "Okay, let me do a promo for your podcast." And I'm like, "What?" Okay. And then when he did, he called it the Armchair Podcast. I told Dwaylen, I said, "We're gonna have
We're just gonna have to change it now.
we're gonna have to change the name of the
It's all
show."
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bill Apter renamed us, so well, it's Bill Apter.
yeah,
I mean,
You have to.
yeah, we have to. So I mean, I'm still, trying to go through the legal, through the courts and trying to see what we need to do. You know, but I mean, but it's Bill Apter. I mean, and got an
yeah.
autographed book, autographed picture, picture with him. And then he did that. I'm like, this is one of the greatest days of my life. It really is. I'm at the Rock and Roll Express, and somehow Robert Gibson talked me into buying this ring. I'm and yeah, and then find out Dwaylen has the same ring. So we are
You
like
mean
the
this
Wonder.
one?
Yeah, that one. So
Yes.
I mean, we are like the Wonder Twins,
Yep.
So um, but yeah, so but yeah, that was a fun day, and I'm sitting there going, I know Big Mama's come up here at some point because I think you and Savannah Sweet were having a match up there.
We did, yes. We,
Uh,
we had all the extra bodies we were bringing up that day.
and it was a title match.
It was a title match. You're
See?
correct.
See, Dwaylen, we need to tell Savannah, look, that'll be your
Yeah.
slogan. Look, I only wrestle
I
title
only
matches,
wrestle title matches.
And then
If
that
you
way
don't have a championship, then don't bother me. I'm not a wrestler.
but that absolutely means though when Breezy wrestles her again, Breezy will be wrestling her for that title.
There
See,
you go.
right there.
So
and it just might come off of her.
see, there you go. And then Breezy will go back down to Key West and be sipping pina coladas
Yep. In my pineapple cup.
in a pineapple cup. Yes.
In a pineapple
Yeah.
cup.
Yeah.
With my sunglasses.
With her sunglasses. And Miss Nikki Victory, the apparently wannabe leader of the Women's Revolution. The next level, Nikki Victory, which I need to get one of those shirts. I think those shirts are cool.
Shirt. I absolutely give her that.
Yeah. So next level, wannabe queen. We'll just call her the princess for now of the Women's Revolution. And she is wrestling in the semi-main event, isn't she? Or is it?
So it is a double main event because honestly, we could not. They're both going to be amazing matches, and I think they both deserve. It is a double main event because they are going to be killer. But she is taking on former NWA heavyweight women's champion, former NWA women's tag team champion. You name it, she's done it. Former Impact knockout. She's currently doing things with Impact.
Mm-hmm.
Pinkies up, Allison Kay. I mean,
yep.
You name it, she's pretty much done it, and she means business in the ring. I mean, you can call her Sienna, you can call her Allison Kay, but at the end of the day, she is there to beat your butt.
Oh yeah, if there's a women's championship out there that's not owned by WWE, she's had it.
Yes, 100%.
See, NWF getting the heavy hitters.
Yeah.
And Roger himself said, talking about Nikki Victory, he said on our podcast, he said she has no ceiling.
And 100%, like and especially just in the last year and a half, I think she's really pushed herself to really start expanding on that. And the sky is the limit. She's going, she's off and running.
Yeah, I hate that AEW stopped filming Dark and Dark Elevation because I watched her a lot on those shows.
Yeah, I did. I heard that was something that was coming to an end. I think people are in hopes that maybe the Ring of Honor stuff, which if I have read correctly, is taped down in Orlando.
Yeah, I think
that
so.
may segue a little bit into that. But yeah, unfortunately, I have heard that that's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully some of that bleeds into Ring of Honor, but
I hope so. It definitely opened up some really good platforms for people, I think.
Yeah, because when I actually spoke to her about that in Covington. I said the same thing. I said, yeah, it's a shame that the dark and dark elevation are going away. And she actually mentioned, she's
Hmm.
like, well, there's always ROH, and she's like, there's other. I was like, all right, good.
Yeah.
You know, because every time they said, like I know what she did some matches in Cincinnati, and I know she actually went to Cleveland, I think, for some AEW Dark,
Yes.
and maybe Indianapolis. I know like Crew went to Indianapolis, and like Nasty Russ and Team Money went to Indianapolis, and
I think she was at Indy, if I
okay,
recall correctly. Like I think she was there. So
okay, um, but I'd always told people, go check out Dark Elevation. You're going to
Hmm.
have Nikki Victory and Crew and Nasty Russ and Team Money. You're going to, and they're like, who? And I'm like, they're part of the NWF. Trust me, when I tell you, go check them out.
Yeah.
And of
all I
course,
know is if anybody wants to ever take that DOS boot to the face from Nasty Russ, whoo, they got another thing coming.
oh, Nasty Russ this past weekend, he had me and Randy about dying laughing. Did you see what he did with that mirror when he's in there with tag with Mr. Destiny?
I didn't.
Bree, you're laughing, so I think you know what he did.
No, I'm just already laughing because I already
Oh,
know it's probably something funny. I think I
at
might have
one,
missed that.
I don't remember who they were even going against. But at one point, Mr. Destiny was caught in an armbar and had his arm, and Nasty Russ grabbed his mirror, held it to him, and said, "Look, he's got your arm. He's got your arm. Look." And Randy and I were sitting there about to fall out of our chairs laughing, And then he was like, "Oh, sir, he's got your arm." And then he kind of put the mirror back. and
Nasty Russ.
and and he's another one. Always you also have like I guess like locker room leaders and like mentors, and they say Nasty Russ. They say his head for wrestling is amazing.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Him actually, I think Pompano Joe. That's who he was. It was Pompano Joe and Swinger. Because I remember telling Randy, I was like, three of the people in that ring right now are ones that people are always saying that's who they go to. I said, and then you got Mr. Destiny, who is already really good, but he hadn't. If people are already going to him, I'm like, he's been in business not even a year yet. So now, granted, he was a good interview. We had him on the show a few months back, and I know he's going to end up being a superstar in something, whether it's wrestling or whether it's music.
100%.
And also, nice guy too. Not like him in the ring. You get him in the ring, all of a sudden he turns to a different person. But outside the ring, and then there was actually, I did give him crap one time because he's coming to the ring with Careless Whisper. You hear the when it did, I'm like, all right, he's got his hair and he's flipping it back. But then I noticed when he's tearing the ring down, he was wearing an Iron Maiden shirt. And I'm talking to Noah before Noah lost his freaking mind.
Hey, I like heel Noah.
Hey, I'm not saying I don't like
mean,
Noah. Noah's still Noah, but he's just fed up. I get it.
You just gotta wise up and
And
take a moment. I'm just saying.
Sometimes you got to spear somebody into a cage. I mean,
things happen.
Just like sometimes you got to, spear somebody through a table. I've seen you do that.
I mean, stuff happens.
I actually have it on.
Do what you gotta do. I mean,
I may actually have that on video because that was out in Covington, and then Selena turned around, and went, "Wait a minute, I got my golden ticket and cashed it in." I may or may not have been cheering, "Cash it in!"
Cash it in! Hurry
cash
up!
it in! But and I mentioned that to Noah. I was like, he's coming in, to George Michael and Wham, but he's wearing an Iron Maiden shirt. I said, in the song is Careless Whisper. Why doesn't he come into Seether's version of Careless Whisper? He's a metalhead. And Noah's like, you know what? Yeah. He's like, hey! And he got his attention. And he said, tell him what you just told me. I said, what? I said, you're a metalhead. Why aren't you coming in with Seether's version? He's like, you know what? You got a point.
I heard a metal version today of My Milkshake Brings All the Boys to the Yard.
Oh my God.
I did not think this was possible.
Now I have to find this.
I am going
I
to
know
find this
It's
too.
by Good Night Moon. Good Night. Please hold, because I'm about to find this. Because I was just like, this isn't a thing, and then it was definitely a thing.
Actually, you know what? Just hit up Titan. We figured out. We thought Joe Pro had the record for like the most eclectic music
Oh
until
no!
we asked Titan.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like, holy crap. Because Joe Pro told us some of the stuff, he listens to on the road. Well, he said, I like country and I kind of like jazz. And he said, well, I really like the Allman Brothers. I'm like, well, that kind of combines country and jazz
Yeah.
right there. So, and then Titan went through his music stuff. We're like, oh my, because
Oh my
Dwaylen is,
gosh.
Dwaylen's music taste is very eclectic, but Titan even has him beat. And I was like, dude,
Oh yeah.
you lost your
Yeah.
title there.
I did. Yeah.
And Dwaylen laid down the night, just kind of rethought everything. It's like, held this title for almost 50 years, and it just
I know, right?
escaped me.
That's okay. I got some new stuff on my playlist that I think will get me the title back. So
well, Jelly Roll himself is pretty eclectic. You put Jelly Roll on there, and it covers a lot.
there you go.
And so,
Good Night Nurse.
Good Night Nurse.
I've heard of them.
Good
Okay,
Night Nurse.
I've heard of them. I'll have to check
it
that
was
out.
like a metal version of Milkshake.
I have to listen to it. I have a feeling I'm going to regret doing it, but I'm going to have to listen to it.
But like you're just the whole time you're sitting there and you're like, it doesn't feel right. All right.
So have I missed any matches, or have we gone through all of them?
Oh, we've got Anika versus Paige.
Anika.
The Big Boss versus the Dreamer. I can tell you this. I think what I'm most looking forward to about this match, this is going to be a classic, old school. Whoever gets caught first is the one getting beat up.
Right.
They are both very classically trained, old school wrestlers. And they're going to throw the punches and the strikes. And once someone gets caught, it's going down.
Mm.
And Anika might have that heel. No one knows all about that heel. I'm convinced that maybe that's what turned his face sour, but I don't know.
Well, I have told Anika, it's like, and I showed her a picture of that hat. Actually, I showed her a picture of it when my son was wearing it for Halloween one year. He wore it for Halloween wearing my old Air Force service dress, with the Master Sergeant stripes, with the ribbon still on it. And my wife actually found online how to spell the name Barber in Russian, and she put that on. So it was, that's what he went out at as Halloween a few years ago. But I sent her a picture. I was like, I said, if you ever want to borrow this hat, I said, seriously, it is an authentic Russian hat, with the Soviet emblem on there and everything, so, and now I can tell her, look, Nikita Koloff wore this hat.
Right.
So if you, ever want to wear it, I'm just saying, I will definitely let you, and I'm just happy to see her gear making business like really, really thrive.
She is just talk about seizing your moment and seizing your day. Like, it's people are always asked, like, so I have two particular sets of gear that she's like knocked out of the park. Breezy and I have talked about this a lot. Like, for me, as a bigger girl wrestler, you need stuff where it needs to go, and to find a good gear maker that can do that is very, very difficult. And she literally, I think, took like 4 measurements and made the best fitting gear I've ever made in my entire career.
Wow.
Like, and she's got such a great mind for creativity, as far as bringing all everybody's concept, their character into it. She's incredible. So anybody looking for gear, Kayfabe Couture, Big Boss Anika, 220% recommend.
And I know she puts her differences aside with certain other wrestlers and to make gear.
Absolutely.
She's like, all right, you're paying me, okay.
Money changes everything.
Money,
so you gotta be
MCE.
smart.
I was gonna say, money talks. So
money does
Money
talk. And honestly, I'm waiting for Noah to join them now. Maybe that's the reason all of a sudden he went on this weird tirade. He got tired of being called a dweeb all the time. And only Sinclair can make that word just you know,
Yeah.
just take it to a different level.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Dwayne, we need to get Sinclair back on the show. We need to
Oh,
we
yeah.
need to, pay his
Yep.
fee again because it's always been,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
you know,
Always a quality interview. Yeah.
yes. Um, but anyway, so is that all the matches? Have we covered all of them? Because it's a stacked and packed card.
It really is. Dude, that Anika, Jax, Marty, Kayla. Yeah, we hit on everybody.
And you're going to have Bree there accompanying you just to make sure nobody is going to do a sneak attack.
I got to take care of business. I'm just a smart businesswoman.
Hey.
I got to
Exactly.
bring my backup. So
Yeah.
I'm sure they won't try me. You know, I'm
try
coming
her.
back, so I don't. You know, I might not be in such a good mood, but you know, they won't try me.
Well, you know what I'm
we
thinking?
will have Hall of Famer Peaches signing autographs during our pre-show events.
Okay.
The doors do open at 6 o'clock for VIP, 6:30 for general admission.
Okay.
And then from 6:30 to 7:30 is kind of the pre-show meet and greets, those kind of things. And then 7:30 to 9:30, the action's kicking off and going.
Cool.
Well, if it's anything like last year, it's going to be action packed and with probably more people because due to fire laws, you can only fit so many people in that VFW hall. And I know it was absolutely packed
Oh,
last year.
it's insanity. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And I know Nikki and I cannot remember, was it Kylie Ray last year?
Yes. Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
That match.
Yeah.
was,
Steve was telling me about that. He said that match was amazing.
It was, I mean, I remember discussing it with several people. Sincerely, one of the best matches I've ever gotten to witness live.
And
Yeah.
I don't remember who you were fighting last year. That match was also really good.
Freya the Slaya, and yeah, round 2 anytime. Like, dude, that was an absolute blast to beat her. But I'm pretty sure she wants. We actually, in January of this year, I took part in the OVW Nightmare Rumble, and we had a
Oh,
moment.
that's right. Yeah.
We had a moment.
All right.
We just anytime, any place, happy to do so.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot all about that OVW Rumble because there was a few of y'all who went down there for that.
Oh yeah.
And you said on Sunday, the day after Revolution, you're heading north again.
I will be, well, Sunday. So we have a group of girls that are going up to Canada on Sunday to do a shot there. And then I will be going down to Derby City in Louisville that day.
Okay.
And I am taking on Allison Kay. So hopefully Nikki takes care of some business for me. Leave a little better,
Soften her up just a little bit. Yeah.
Give me a little bit of a hand here.
Yeah.
I might have to give Nikki a crutch to use. Maybe.
There we go. See.
I'm just saying, you never know what's gonna happen.
Right.
You know what I want to see on Breezy's crutches. Okay, you remember? Well, Big Mama, obviously you know about the movie Grease because you came from Rydell High.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so you know the final car scene, how he had them spikes sticking out of the hubcaps. That's what we need on Breezy's crutches.
Girl, I got you. I got
Yeah.
you.
Let me get on Amazon and see if I can order something.
Let me
See
put
if I
that.
can have something here by Friday.
It's 2-day shipping. It'll be fine.
You know, free 2-day shipping. Yeah,
I'll
be
go
here.
pick it up from the box and everything for you. I got you.
We just might do something.
So this Saturday, folks, if you're listening, if you're going to be in Cincinnati, around the Cincinnati area, go ahead by Hits in Covington. Just put Hits baseball complex in your GPS, and it'll take you right to it. I'm not like Noah. He can just spout off addresses because he has them all memorized. He really does. Every time we've had him on the show. We need to get him back on the show to explain himself too.
Yes, I need to talk to Heel Noah because I'm liking this, and I need more of this. I'm really liking the Heel Noah. So.
Yep. I mean, little kids are crying, because it's Noah. What are you doing? But he's in it to win it now, and so.
Hey.
Well, like I said, sometimes you just have to slam somebody's head into a cage.
Hey, it happens. It
You know,
does.
so
I mean,
Yes, things happen.
but hits in Covington, the Northern Wrestling Federation Women's Revolution Rising Part 2, Battle of the Midwest. Be there, or you're definitely going to miss out on something great. If you're going to be in Cincinnati, head by there. If you're not going to be in Cincinnati, start heading to Cincinnati now.
right now.
You know, right now, especially if you're coming from like the West Coast, you might make it in time, hopefully. You know, start breaking some speed limits. You know, forget about the cops. I mean, this is like Smokey and the Bandit here. You're going to have somebody be a distraction so you can
Exactly.
make it.
Yeah, somebody's got to take the heat so you can get there. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, so, but it ought to be a good time. Like I said, my daughter said, you know, Dad's going to force me to go. I'm like, no, you're going to go and you're not going to have a good time. You know, I'm
Yeah.
like, and I did. She is kind of looking forward to it. You know, I said, look, it's all women. You know,
Yeah.
so that and all y'all can actually finally meet Avery. You know, because I know
Yes.
you've all heard
Yes.
about her. So,
Mhm.
Yeah.
not that she would necessarily be a wrestler because you know she has nary an athletic bone in her body. You know, but if you ever needed somebody to do like the film editing and things like that,
Yeah.
she is.
That's the person to go
That is
to.
a
Yeah.
very useful skill in wrestling. All I'm saying.
Yes. And if you've never been to her YouTube channel, I can send it to you to show you some of the editing things that she's done. She's actually gotten paid like by the local school here when she's done like stuff
Cool.
for them, you know.
That's
So,
awesome.
yep. So, but until we can actually talk again, you know, thank you, Big Mama. Thank you, Breezy,
Yeah.
for coming on
Thank you,
again. We
ladies.
really appreciate
Appreciate
both.
it.
It was
Yeah.
great having you back.
Anytime.
Yeah, and you know, you both are welcome anytime you want to come on. Just
Yep.
let me know. Say, hey, I want to come on your show. And if I say, hey, we're booked up, then don't swing at me with the crutch. I will still do what we can.
Yeah, we'll try to bump somebody and get
You
you
know,
in. So
I mean, we'll bump Buff Bagwell next time. You know, so
yeah.
you know
He's already been on there once. So
he's been
yeah.
on there
We'll
once.
just
You know,
yeah.
And we'll say, look, Breezy's coming on, and he might say, all right, well,
It's like, okay, I get it. I
get it.
understand.
Breezy's coming on.
It's me. It's me. Why wouldn't
Right.
You know, but until we can actually meet again, ladies, I will see you all Saturday.
Ladies, good
Yeah.
luck.
All right.
Yep. Good
Thank
luck
you.
and God bless.
God bless.